2nd and 8. And another deep ball for Hill. He hauls it in. And there you go.
Play. 2nd and 15. Long ball again. Rice with a one-handed stab. Rice.
And he's looking for Julio Jones. And
going back again to Moss. Touchdown Patriots.
Here's Stafford putting it up for Johnson. And Johnson makes the catch.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fade Late Podcast. I'm Chad Jeffries here with Zach Jeffries, and the Fade Late Podcast is where two brothers talk everything and anything NFL football. You can find us on Instagram at the Fade Late Podcast or on TikTok with the same handle at Fade Late Podcast. In this episode today, we will be recapping Week 17. We'll be taking a close look at the Chiefs-Bengals matchup, the Buccaneers-Jets, the Colts versus the Raiders, the Ravens versus Rams, and last but not least, the Cardinals versus the Cowboys. Also, later on today in the episode, we're going to be looking at the current playoff picture and who is probably going to get into the playoffs. Zach, let's get started with you.
All right. Okay, we're going to talk about Giants-Bears. Bears won 29-3. Pretty easy game. We don't really need to talk about this one. Doesn't really mean much.
Thing though about it.
What?
Mike Glennon threw 10 yards.
That was terrible. It's just nothing I want to be a part of, you know. That dude's getting paid millions, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's probably been paid, I think, like what, $20 million to be a backup, and just throws 10 yards in a game. That's bad.
It's crazy. Next game, Pats Jags. Pats destroyed 50-10. Just clinched the playoff spot. Got the win and get the easy team. So that's how it is. Next game, Eagles Washington team. 2016, Eagles won, clinched the spot. With the Vikings lost too, so we love that. Next game, 49ers Texans. Niners won 23-7. Niners are still in the hunt. We'll talk about some of that later. So, yeah.
Yeah, about the Niners-Texans game, it was kind of a slow start for Trey Lance. I watched a little bit of it. Like you and I have talked about this season, Zach, Trey Lance hasn't really been ready. So the 49ers probably chomping at the bit to get Jimmy G back in the game so that they can make a run in the playoffs with Jimmy G. For the games that I got, where we're not going to go too deep in them, we got the Bills-Falcons. The Bills won 29-15. It was a snow game, and the Bills finally were able to do some stuff on the ground. Josh Allen had 15 carries for 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devin Singletary had a breakout game, also scored 2 touchdowns with 100-plus yards. Josh Allen, though, he threw 3 picks, but that just kept the score close. The Bills really just whooped up on the Falcons.
Picks.
What's up?
How many picks?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure I was hearing that correctly. You know, with these Skypes, you don't really know if you're hearing it right. So, 3 INTs. Okay.
Threw 3 picks and still covered the spread, negative 13 spread. So it's pretty good. He's a beast on the ground, and they finally unleashed Devin Singletary. Anyways, moving on, you can embarrass me even more with this one. The Dolphins versus the Titans.
Game, dude.
Tua can't play in the rain, and he can't play against good teams. That's kind of what we learned here. Ryan Tannehill was super efficient, and
About that win streak, though, dude. 7-game win streak.
I know it didn't help him, obviously. And like I said,
obviously, 3 points, dude.
yeah, like I said though, with the loss to the Titans, said that would be the end of the Dolphins season, and it is. The Dolphins are officially eliminated from the playoffs. The Titans, though, moved up to the number 1 seed in AFC, and they can clinch that with a win over the Texans. So we'll see what happens there. I will say, though, with the absence of Derrick Henry, the Titans are still monsters with the ground game. Just shy of 200 yards and 2 touchdowns for them on the ground. That's good, especially against the Dolphins defense that has played good. Seahawks beat the Lions 51-29. Don't be fooled by the closer score. The Seahawks were up at one point 38-7. The one bright spot for the Lions, though, is their rookie wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, with 10 touches, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I really like that. I'm a Lions fan. Finally, we have a nice young receiver. Hopefully, we can keep him around for longer than a few years. The other game is the Saints versus the Panthers. The Saints keep their playoff hopes alive with an 18-10 win. Taysom Hill had an okay game. Alvin Kamara did have 100 total yards, so that's good. And Sam Darnold looked like crap. So we'll see what the Panthers do in the future. Another game, another butt whooping was the Packers versus the Vikings. The Vikings had their backup QB, Sean Mannion, in because Kirk Cousins got COVID on Friday, and of course the Packers just dominated. They won at 37-10. And then what's just unfolding right now, let me go check the box score, is the Steelers versus the Browns. And the Steelers are up 19-7 with a minute 25 to go in the fourth quarter. So my prediction and your prediction were wrong. With that, Big Ben is going to end with a bang, but he's also going to end with some of these stats. Let's talk about these. He has 46 pass attempts for 123 yards. Definitely beyond a time to retire for him. It was cool to sort of watch the beginning of that game, him run out of the tunnel for that last time. It would take a miracle for the Steelers to make it in the playoffs, so we'll talk about that more later. So that is that. So Zach, let's talk some big games, the real games that happened. Go for it.
Jets Bucks. We'll start with that one. Most of you guys are seeing the Antonio Brown little shindig he was throwing. Yeah. I was probably right the whole game.
Leave the podcast?
What's that?
Should I take off my shirt and leave the podcast right now?
No.
My belly?
Brady had another MVP-like game, though. 410 yards, 3 touchdowns, one interception. Gronk was helping out, 7 receptions, 116 yards. The Bucks pass D is a problem. It's an absolute problem. Zach Wilson threw for 234 yards and a touchdown. Rookie quarterback on a yes.
Pick it all or no picks?
Picks, dude, no turnovers. So
Oh my gosh.
that scares me. And the Bucks had all their secondaries in, so it's super embarrassing.
Oh shoot.
But the Bucks, they'll save it for the postseason and wait for their injuries to heal. Shaq Barrett, Levante David, waiting on those guys for the playoffs. So hopefully we get those guys healthy and hopefully that shit won't happen again.
Well, dude, I thought it was cool though that that Brady had a chance to come back in a game that didn't really matter too much. Even if they had lost that game, they're still locked for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, it was practice for Brady to be in that situation.
Yeah, Brady doing his little 2-minute drill, no timeouts, basically one dominant receiver and a bunch of second string guys. So I mean, he tore it up.
Yeah, still doing that at age 44. That's just insane.
It's the GOAT. So he's all right. You want to say anything on that game? That's all I got. Bucks won by 4 points. Last second touchdown. It's a pretty cool game. So
yeah, that was good.
All right, Bengals Chiefs. My favorite game of the week, personally. I called the game. I basically called this game. So
what was your score prediction? It was pretty close, right?
35-33. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The final score is 34-31. Bengals winning. Joey Burrow, Kings of the AFC North, dude, got the title. Jamar Chase had 11 receptions, 266 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I think I was saying in the last podcast, it was just reminding me of the LSU days. And look, just happened again, dude. So don't put them past you. Joey Burrow was sacked 4 times. Didn't throw any interceptions though. Chiefs man coverages. I don't know why they were running man coverage that whole game, dude. They could not guard Jamar Chase, so
Yeah, well, it's not even only Jamar Chase, dude. They have two other really good receivers too.
I'm not sure if you were watching, bro, but they had this Chardarius Ward or whoever that guy was manned up on Jamar Chase about the whole game, bro, and he was getting torched, absolutely torched. I think the Chiefs will lose in the playoffs, dude. So we can talk about that all that later, though. Don't worry. Talk about that later. All right. You got anything to say about that game or what?
I only caught the very end of it because I was watching the Rams-Ravens game. Well, I was looking at the score pretty much the whole game. It's like, oh, Chiefs were up by about 14 or 10 points throughout the whole game. So I'm like, sweet, my prediction's right. And then I switch over to that game, and it's 31-31 with the Bengals going in. I was a little bit scared because they left Joe Burrow on the field try and score a touchdown for some reason. He got a little bit dinged up, but I heard he's okay. They were able to kick a field goal with no time left, which is exactly what you need to do against Patrick Mahomes. You can't give him the ball back with any time. I'll take the L on that one. Bengals have sort of proved to me that they are contenders. Maybe not for the playoffs, but to get a playoff win for sure. So good for them.
Yeah. All right, last one I got is Raiders-Colts. Raiders won by 3 points, 23-20. Wentz didn't play that great. He had 148 yards and a touchdown. I mean, the T.Y. Hilton 45-yard touchdown catch was basically his only play, and it was pure luck. So Wentz honestly didn't play that great. But Jonathan Taylor had 108 yards, 20 carries, and a touchdown. Carr threw 2 interceptions, but he was on the road and came back and got the win. So kind of erased those interceptions in my mind. One thing I want to talk about was both of these teams might go into the playoffs. So who would you rather have at quarterback, Carson Wentz or Derek Carr? If you were a team going to the playoffs, who would you rather have starting quarterback?
Well, the crazy thing is they both have about the same playoff experience. Carson Wentz, I remember a few years ago, he got hurt when the Eagles were playing the Seahawks. He got hurt. He only threw 1 or 2 passes in that game before he got a concussion. Derek Carr, the year the Raiders went to the playoffs, he broke his ankle like week 14 of that year. But he got them to the playoffs. Right now, dude, I think the Colts rely on Jonathan Taylor, not Carson Wentz, and the Raiders rely on Derek Carr. I think if I was to maybe not pick a whole team, if I was just to pick a quarterback, I'd pick Derek Carr in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Cool. But yeah.
But don't get me wrong, though. Carson Wentz has really impressed me this year. I did not think he'd do this good, especially for that terrible last year with the Eagles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Carr got the win, and they're still fighting for a playoff spot. So that's all I got on that.
There we go. It's good. So my deep dive, I'm doing 2 matchups. The first one I'll talk about is the Rams versus the Ravens.